Look at this thing. This is BlackBerry, once the ultimate symbol of power. CEOs, world leaders, and even the presidents couldn't go a day without it. It was everywhere, in airports, boardrooms, classrooms, but today it's gone. In just a few years, the world's most trusted phone vanished from our hands as well as our memories. So, what happened? How did a company that changed the way we communicated fail to communicate its own survival? This is the story of BlackBerry, the phone that flew too high but forgot to look down. To understand why BlackBerry mattered so much, you would have to understand what phones were like before it came along. There was no touchscreen, there was no internet. Just tiny screens and clunky buttons which were meant for calling but not for connecting. And then in 1999, two Canadian engineers from a company called Research in Motion changed it all. They didn't set out to make a flashy gadget. Instead, they wanted to solve just one simple problem, and that was how to send emails wirelessly. And that one question changed the world. Now, BlackBerry introduced something very different, a secure, instant connection to your inbox anywhere. For the first time, people could do business on the go. They could reply to clients, send documents, and make decisions all from a pocket sized device. But while BlackBerry was busy perfecting what already worked, the world around it was moving faster than it realized.
An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not three separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone.
When Apple unveiled the iPhone in 2007, most of us saw the future. But inside BlackBerry's headquarters in Waterloo, Canada, they saw a toy. Their engineers laughed. No physical keyboard? No business person would take it seriously. And in some ways, they weren't wrong. At least not yet. But beneath the surface, something was breaking. The world wasn't just looking for another secure device anymore. It was looking for creativity, connection, and simplicity. The Apple wasn't just selling a phone, they were selling an experience. On the other hand, BlackBerry, they were still selling emails. Now, year after year, BlackBerry doubled down on what used to work. Bigger batteries, adding keyboards, minor tweaks, but they never changed the idea itself. And by the time they realized, it was already too late.
If you still use a BlackBerry device as your cell phone, get ready to say goodbye. Tomorrow, BlackBerry will stop service for all of its classic devices.
In 2011, they faced a global outage that left millions without service for days. Their once ironclad reputation for reliability shattered. In 2013, their stock crashed. In 2016, they stopped making phones altogether. And just like that, the company that once defined mobile communication became a cautionary tale of what happens when innovation turns into comfort. But if you think about it, it isn't about how a company loses its way. It's about how fast our world changes and how hard it is to accept that the thing you built your entire identity on just doesn't matter anymore. And when you think about it, you will realize that BlackBerry didn't just fail because it was bad. It failed because it was too brilliant, but not forever. But here's the interesting part. Even after losing the smartphone war, BlackBerry didn't die.
Adversaries threaten security. From defense strategies to corporate leadership, no organization is beyond their reach. Communication systems, once the backbone of national safety, have become the biggest vulnerability.
They quietly transformed. Today, BlackBerry powers cybersecurity systems for cars, hospitals, and governments. The same obsession with security that made them famous now protects millions of devices across the world. And in a way, BlackBerry found its purpose again. Not in our pockets, but in the invisible systems that keep our world safe. And maybe that's the lesson here. Sometimes the world moves on without us, but it doesn't mean that we are done. It just means that we have to evolve. If you enjoyed the story, you will love the one I made about Google Glass. Just another brilliant idea that failed in plain sight. Thanks for watching. This is Globedisk. I am Aditya Garg and this was the story of BlackBerry. Thank you for watching.